Hi, everybody. What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Little Life Lessons podcast, episode number 19. I feel like I haven't chatted with you guys for a while because I took a little break on my podcast. And then once I did that, I had a few guests come in. So I haven't had like a one-on-one chance to talk to you guys. I don't have anything specific written down. I just have a few things on my notes that has happened to me or like ideas that just shot in my head in the past few weeks that I really wanted to talk about. And I thought, why not talk about it on my podcast? Because that's why I made my podcast, because I have so many ideas that I wanted to talk about. I feel like when you're putting ideas out into the world, you get so many different opinions because you have so many different people living different lives. So these are just things that I want to talk about that is like prevalent in my life. You may not be able to relate to it, but let's just sit and chat like we're friends. And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a little nervous, okay? Because I'm so used to asking questions now. Like, I'm so used to having a guest come on and then me asking them questions. And like, I talk so much less about myself. And even on my vlogs, if you guys want to check out my vlog channel, it's just Michelle Yee on YouTube. Yeah, my vlog is just like kind of what I do day to day. Let's talk about one of the most recent things that has happened to me, which was I got a chance to photograph the Brooklyn Nets auditions. And if you don't know what the Brooklyn Nets are, basically there's an NBA football team called the Brooklyn Nets, and the dancers for that team are called the Nets and like the Brooklyn Nets. And I think that's so cute. And I got the chance to photograph for them in their auditions, and honestly, wow. The past few months I've been thinking about dance a lot because I took a small break and I miss it a lot. Like that, I don't know, dance is like my heart and soul, you know? Like, I love dance. Like, I love it so much, and I obviously don't need to pursue it to continue to have it in my life, but honestly, I do kind of love the game, you know? I do kind of love the lifestyle of like getting better, you know? I love dancing in that capacity also, in like a professional capacity. So yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot, and going to the audition honestly just like really inspired and like sparked something in me, because you see so many people that are like putting themselves out there. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm just scared to get embarrassed, and like embarrassed in a way that like I'm not, you know, like used to being seen as. Like, I feel like, you know, I'll trip or something and I don't get embarrassed like that. Now that I'm just like so used to being perceived in a certain way, I feel like putting myself out there in a different industry is a little bit harder. Maybe I'm just saying this because I haven't been in like a dance environment in around 6 or 7 months. So I forgot what it was like to challenge myself and like overcome that fear, because I remember taking class and I felt that like anxiety and fear and like, you know, like nervousness, and I overcame that, and also a little bit of embarrassment. And I'm sure like no one's looking at me like that, but like I feel that way. Like, kind of forgot the journey of that because I haven't been taking class, which means I need to get back into class. I feel like I just really need to get back into class. It just really inspired me because you see so many people with different personalities and different styles and artistry, and they're just doing their best, and they are amazing. Like, their best is amazing. But the fact that they're like living in that energy of like putting themselves out there and like pushing themselves is really cool and really inspiring, because for me, I kind of feel like I'm getting comfortable in my life in a way that I don't think I should be in my 20s, and we can definitely talk more about that later on. So to say that the dancers auditioning for the Brooklyn Nets were inspiring is the least that I can say, because honestly, they were so talented. And also getting to photograph them, like, you're seeing everybody in the state of like energy and adrenaline, all that stuff in a close-up view. Like, I'm literally experiencing the whole process through my camera lens, and I love my camera, and it really like captures a clear view of the people. And when I'm like photographing them, you just feel and see the energy, and you only see them. And when you're looking at them, it's kind of like, whoa, you see like each individual for who they are. And when you're capturing them, you like capture the essence. And I feel like that was so inspiring, being in a space like that where they're not focused on the picture, they're focused on the environment, and I get to capture that. Usually when I'm capturing people, it's like they're posing for the camera, but no, the dancers were like posing for their life, for the audition. It was for the love of the game, and I loved it so much, and I loved the pictures I captured, and just getting to meet the dancers and everything. It was really cool. So I definitely feel inspired as a dancer, and I definitely feel like I have a lot of work to do, to say the least. Even though I'm really grateful for where I am in dance, and I'm really proud of myself, and I do think I'm a good dancer, but they are on another level that I want to be at. So yeah, I just felt really inspired. Okay, I feel like this kind of leads to my next two things, because one thing I just said earlier was like I feel like I'm getting really comfortable, and I do feel like I'm getting really comfortable even though my life has challenges in itself, and it's definitely not the challenges that a lot of people face. I'm really grateful for the life I have. I feel like I'm getting comfortable in my life where I feel safe in my career. I feel safe, in like these aspects, which is really nice because I feel like this has only been happening for the past few months, so it's fairly new to me. I do feel like New York is not serving me the way it used to, and I am in a little bit of a need for some kind of environmental change. A lot of things have changed in priority for me, and my environment really matters, and I love New York City for sure. Like, I love the person that I became here. Now I'm looking at it, I'm just like, I don't want to spend my full 20s in New York. Like, I moved here when I was 20, now I'm 25, almost 26. I don't know if anyone else feels this way now that they're 25, 26, that they want to pivot or start something new. Not something new, like somewhere new, like a new life change, I don't know how to express it. Will I ever come back to New York? I would love to. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm gonna move yet, but like, I just feel like I have to challenge myself in a different way because I'm going to feel stagnant. I feel like I felt this way a lot in my life where I know I needed to move on from something, and I'm not saying like New York is this and I have to move on from it right away, but I feel like the little inkling and start of it where like that it's in a way no longer serving you, or you need to have like a different kind of relationship with it. And that has been the truth for me in the past, with past relationships, past jobs, past environments. And I think it's starting to happen. I don't know if it's happening with my apartment in itself, the way I'm living, or the city. I don't know. I think I just need to like sit in this feeling a little bit more and let it happen, and then I'll just process it and understand it through time. But yeah, that might be, I don't know, like maybe in a year or two I will be moving out of state or something like that. I do really want to try LA just because I want that environmental change, but I do like working. Like, I do like my work, so I feel like I'd be able to do that in LA. Yeah, I'll definitely miss the people in New York. There's no place like New York, and the fact that I don't know, I just met the coolest people here, and it's just so easy to get around. I love that about New York. Also, on another note, AAPI month was last month in May. So if you guys don't know, I'm a commercial beauty and lifestyle model here in New York City, and I also dance. I'm also a photographer. And what does this have to do with AAPI month, you might ask? You know what? I think what is really important for us is support other Asians. Okay, I feel like the more spaces that we get to be in, the more spaces created for others and yourself. And even though New York is a very diverse place, I feel like each space, it's just very limited. I feel like some people might think like, oh, you're a commercial beauty lifestyle model, like another Asian will replace you and your competition is another Asian girl. If I'm not chosen for something and another Asian girl is chosen for something, I do not mind at all, because I just want there to be more opportunities for the AAPI community, because that means there are spaces created for that. In the long run, that might create more opportunities for me, because people are used to seeing the AAPI community in that space and in that role. And also being in dance settings, I feel like sometimes it could be like, I feel like in the past it might have been like, oh, there's only one space for an Asian girl and you're competing with the other Asian girl, or in other spaces where you're just like, okay, I feel like I'm competing with this person that looks like me. Honestly, if I'm in the same room with somebody that looks like me, I'm happy, because I feel like I'm never on set with another Asian girl, because I'm like, they just choose one and then that's it. If I'm in the same room with somebody that looks like me, especially in an audition setting, it actually brings me more joy, because I'd love to see more AAPI people in that environment, and that's what matters to me more. Yeah, basically, to sum it all up, let's support people in our community, in any community that you feel passionate about that you're part of. But I feel like there's more love than competition, and once you see it like for the bigger picture that it is, I feel like we can all connect a lot more. The thing is that when I was at the audition, it was kind of crazy because I was needed at the same time for like multiple days, and I think it was just like 2 days. When I get booked for double shoots, which doesn't doesn't happen very often. It's not the same call time. So being in that routine, even though it was 2 days, kind of brought me back to like school life. My schedule is kind of all over the place. Like I don't have a set routine when it comes to work, and then when it comes to like my day-to-day life, everything is always like on its own time, and I do things like, in pockets of spaces when I can. Having that time where I was like needed in that specific time period felt like school, and it was kind of nostalgic to me, and I enjoyed it, but I don't think I can do that for like long term in life. But it just like brought this nostalgic feeling. So I want something in my life that replicates that in a way. So that's why I'm like, okay, I need to take more dance classes, because I think that kind of replicates that routine that I like, where I'm just like seeing the same people at the same time on the same day. It honestly feels really comforting. If you guys like are freelancers, I never see the same people. Like I'm always on set, and you say hi and you say bye, and you rarely see them again until maybe like a year or so after, when you're like on the same project. And a lucky day, you might have just waited a month or two. But yeah, usually you never see the same people. And then when you're hanging out with your friends, you don't really do like the same thing on the same day over. So it's just kind of like my schedule's just like whenever I want, which is really good. Like I feel like some people really want that. I love that about my schedule, but I also need like one thing that's kind of grounding. You know how some people go to like pottery club at Thursday 7 p.m. But I do go to a cookbook club, but that's like once a month. Last topic on my phone is about just life in general, where like I feel like when my early 20s, I really wanted my world to be bigger, and that's why I moved to a huge city, and I wanted to experience so much more than what I was experiencing. I wanted my day-to-day life to look different, and I did that, and I loved it. And now when I'm almost reaching 26, I kind of feel like I want to make my world smaller. And one day when I have a kid, my world will be real small, but in terms of like where my focus and priority is. But right now I feel like my world is so big, and I want it to be a little bit smaller, and that's why I kind of want to make a move to maybe California, where it's just like a little bit slower pace. There's not as much going on, but you can still find the same things going on. You just have to look a little harder. And I grew up in the suburbs, and I love the suburbs, and I love like growing up around nature, and that has always been really nice to me. So I think that has always been a part of me. Just crazy like how your brain changes and your life changes when you, like in your 20s in general. Being in your 20s is honestly crazy, because I feel like it's just the most like emotional up and down roller coaster intense time. You feel everything like you're a kid, and then you start to like reorganize your priorities. You start to understand adult life a little bit more, and you have to make decisions that are so much more long lasting, especially like at 25, in your mid 20s. Your decisions can last you way longer, and you have to make that change. There's nothing that will make that change for you. I'm going to be doing the same thing unless I decide to pursue something differently. A lot of things are decided for you in your early 20s and like in your late teens. Most people go to college at this time, so most people will go to college. A lot of things are decided for you. But now the type of lifestyle I'm living is just like I have to decide for myself. And obviously that's like adult life, and I don't complain about it because I'm happy with the decisions that I've made. But there's so much more deciding to do to get to where I want to be, if that makes sense. Also, I got a hate comment on one of my reels yesterday, and I posted a reel where I talked about how when I was 18, I was like, there's just so many things I want to do, and I just can't be one thing. And I've realized that throughout life, like lately especially, it's just like I cannot do one thing. And I posted like all the things that I did, like photography, modeling, dancing, singing, and all these things. And then the comment was something along the lines of, you're just doing these things just to do it, and there's no real importance to it. And I'm just like, okay, like get it. I feel like only people that really understand who I am and like kind of follow my journey understand that. It doesn't really matter to me if somebody understands like, what I do, but all those things that I posted, I do as a job. I don't know if like, that guy understood it or not, but yeah, if you want to go and be a doctor and like build homes or something like that, you go do it and I will support you. But not everything and not every job has to be something like that, where it's just like completely changing the world. In a different way, that video could be inspiring somebody else and helping somebody else change their life to do the things that they love to do. But yeah, Don't judge other people for what they do. If you want to, be a doctor and be a surgeon, go do it, okay? And we will be supporting you because we need more surgeons and doctors. And also, if you're on YouTube, that means you're consuming the content that people are making. So who are you to judge? Anyways, that concludes the end of this podcast because I do have to be on set soon. And for my little loves, one thing I love about myself is my resilience and my ability to get back up every time that I need to, because I was so tired this week, but I still went grocery shopping and cleaned my apartment, prepped and everything for this coming week because I care about my life, and I love that for myself because now I'm really sitting in the fruits of my labor and sitting in this beautiful clean apartment that I love so much. One thing I love about life right now is that the industry is booming. Like, I feel like it's so much faster, so everything's just like speeding up and everything's so consistent. I love that because I love working. And another thing is I've been loving YouTube, guys. Like, I've been watching YouTube so much and I've been loving it. It's like my morning and night. And I also love not having TikTok on my phone. I have it on my iPad now. But yeah, it's so much better for my brain. I feel a lot more focused and it's amazing. Thank you guys for tuning into episode 19 of Little Life Lessons. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.
1, 2